Hey, so we might be celebrating 10 years of the Motorbike Show, but that is nothing compared to one Italian manufacturer who's celebrating 100 years, and that is Moto Guzzi. So this is their latest model, the V85 TT, or Toto Torini, which basically means it'll go anywhere. A retro vibe dual sport, but it is adorned with 100th anniversary colours and also a 100th anniversary badge. Moto Guzzi was the brainchild of two pilots, Parodi and Ravelli, and Carlo Guzzi, a young engineer. Ravelli died in an air crash, so in his honour, Moto Guzzi adopted the wings motif for their badge. Starting in 1921, they gained a reputation for innovative engineering and fast, reliable bikes. They were the first company to test their designs in a wind tunnel, the first to produce a 500cc V8, and were very successful on the racetrack. Over the years, Guzzi has come up with some fantastic sleds. But how will their anniversary bike stand up? Well, there's only one way to find out. I'm not going to take it off-road today, but on-road it's agile and progressive. It feels quite sporty, but at the same time it's a comfortable ride. Let me tell you straight away, you feel in control of the motorcycle. I've ridden so many dual sport bikes that I find they're just too big for me, you know? The other thing that strikes you immediately when you get on it is the build quality of it. The build quality is superb, really. It's a great all-round bike, though like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, a few things need straightening out. Now then, we've talked about the loveliness of this motorcycle. Let's talk about a couple of foibles very quickly. Firstly, can I introduce you to the TFT screen? It reminds me of one of those sort of early computer games or something. Everything comes up, nothing really I'm interested in. But I'll tell you something, man. When you actually go quite quickly and the revs go up to the limiter, suddenly these orange lights appear on the dashboard and then red ones. And I thought, my God, side stands down, what's happened? It's going to blow up. No, it's just telling you you're being bad. Yeah, I'm sure TFT screens are all the rage these days, but if you're buying a retro bike, can we just have a couple of clocks? That'd just be really nice for me, man. It just sort of sit lovely with those retro Africa twin headlights. Now, one of these will cost you around 12 grand. But if you want to spend your lira on something a little older, then let me introduce you to my favourite Guzzi of all time, the iconic Le Mans from 1975. This thing was a projectile. It handled brilliantly, 71 brake horsepower, 130 miles an hour. The Japanese equivalents of that day, like the CB750, the Z1 Kawasaki, the GT750, all of them were kind of sit up and beg, right? And you couldn't actually buy really a calf racer straight out of the box, but you could with your lemon. That's what I love to call them, the lemon. Would you believe, right, I've never actually ridden one. That was, hey, until now. Almost 50 years after its debut in 1975, this is still a wonderful bike. It feels as good as it looks. The lovely little bikini fairing and the riding position was so new back in 75. And even though I'm 57 years old, often with calf racers I feel like my back's killing me. But actually straight away you feel that once you get the wind under your chest, it's going to be a very comfortable riding position. For this model, Moto Guzzi got rid of the chain and used a shaft drive instead. If looked after properly, the Lemon was pretty much bulletproof. They made just over 7,000 Le Mans 850s. About 5 years ago, a very nice gentleman offered me a light blue one with 6,000 miles on the clock for 5,000 quid. Slightly ropey, needed some work. And I thought, oh, I'll leave it. This one, which is in riding trim, it certainly ain't concourse, but it rides great. 11 grand, probably, something like that. So it's doubled its value more and in the last 5 years. And I would say in the next 5 years, these things will be 15, 16 grand. So look, we've looked at the new Guzzi, we've looked at my iconic Le Mans, but a little bit later, we'll see what it's like to live with any Guzzi with a little bit of a chat from the Owners Club. Cheers. So we've been looking at Moto Guzzi's 100th anniversary by having a ride on their latest model, the V85, and also my favourite Guzzi of all time, the 850 Le Mans. But what's it like to live with a Guzzi? Well, there's one way to find out. You can invite the Owners Club round for tea. And here they are, a flock of Guzzis of all ages, creeds and colours, descending on Cole Central. Now let's start with the oldest. That's not you, Mike.
No, right, indeed, okay. It's the bike.
It's your motorcycle. Now this is an early single, right?
It is indeed, yeah.
So 1921 is when it all started.
It was.
And this bike is from?
1934.
Okay, so this is our oldest today here.
They made these from 34 till 1940. They made about 2,000. And of all the singles I've bought and ridden, this is my favourite.
Is it?
It's so soft and gentle and it just goes all day. It's beautiful.
Now when it comes to beauty, take a look at Andy's Ford pickup, and even lovelier, the Moto Guzzi Falcone on the trailer behind it.
It's the 500 single.
Okay.
With a huge flywheel.
Yeah.
You don't go fast.
No.
You don't go anywhere fast.
But it's all about the journey though, Andy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the pickup as well. It's all about the journey, not about the destination, mate.
Well, with that, I always feel you could ride round the world. You just wouldn't live long enough to see the end of it.
I'll tell you what, I've been on a few bikes like that, Andy, yeah. I've got to tell you, mate. The Moto Guzzi Club has been around since 1976, an achievement in itself.
The first time you ever ride a Guzzi, if you just go and ride it around the block a couple of times, you'll hate it. You've got to go out and do 50 mile on it, and then you'll grow to love it.
Club stalwart Graham owns several historic models.
That's a Falcon Turismo. That one was used in Rome for delivering mail for the local authorities all round Rome.
Guzzi was also very successful in the US, selling bikes to American police forces and ordinary punters like Mike's Guzzi Eldorado.
In America, they call it the Eldorado. In Europe, they call it the 850 GT.
I can see myself thudding through Tuscany on that.
Exactly.
I have to say.
It is a distinguished gentleman's ride.
And they're not just for distinguished gentlemen. Serena has ridden thousands of miles on her Falcone single.
Because there's that sort of in-between bike, so it's not a British bike, it's not a Japanese crutch rocket, or it's not a Harley, that sort of thing. But those people, they don't seem to mind us because we're not a threat. So, and I think, and the club is superb. We've met some great people. We've had some great rides around Europe. Yeah. And the other thing about a Guzzi is that when somebody buys one, that's usually fatal because you never have one.
Of all the recent designers who've worked for Guzzi, none is more famous than Lino Tonti, seen here with Mike Hailwood. And this is the bike that Mike the Bike was riding, the awesome Guzzi V7.
So this is the first Tonti frame sports bike.
Oh,
and
really?
it enabled them to lift the engine up, a much more compact frame, better handling.
Right.
And the spec for the bike was 200 kilos and 200 kilometres per hour. which it fulfilled pretty well. I think it weighs about 205, but it does 200 kilometres out. Now, that was the fastest bike you could buy in 1972.
Back in the day,
But
mate, 72.
faster than the Kawasaki Triple, the Kettle, the Honda 4,
Yeah.
the Trident,
Yeah.
all those. And it's a pushrod V-twin, you
That's
know?
amazing, isn't it?
And it's such a lovely bike.
Finally bringing the whole thing up to date, Richard has got his V85 TT Dual Sport, and whereas I had one for just a few hours, he's been road testing his for the last 2 years all over Europe. Is there any foibles for someone thinking of buying one that you would alert them to up front?
80 brake horsepower.
Do you notice that?
You might notice it if you were two up on a German autobahn and you want to be doing 120 mile an hour in the outside lane because there's an Audi or a Porsche bearing down on you. But you ride according to the power that the bike's got. And I've gone down two up across Europe with this, with camping gear on as well.
Yeah.
It's more than adequate.
Is it? Good. And the screen, all right?
This is the aftermarket touring screen.
All right, you've got to have the aftermarket
standard
touring seat
screen,
and the
yeah.
aftermarket seat, and then you'll be happy. Hey, look, Richard, thank you for bringing that. In fact, thanks to everyone for bringing all the motorcycles. Look, from 1934 right up to the present day, 100 years of Moto Guzzi. But as ever with motorcycle clubs, it's not about the bikes, really. It's about the people. And with the Guzzi Club, you couldn't meet a better bunch.